Hello, everyone. This is Danya Zimmerman, the powerful biz woman. And thank you so much for tuning in to the ultimate business conversation with the powerful biz woman and the grown woman. And today we are going to do a 3-day virtual summit to discuss what you will be learning on June the 25th and June the 26th at the Ultimate Biz Conference 2021 Bankrupt Proof Your Biz. And so today this week we're doing a 3-day summit. And the reason why we're doing this 3-day virtual summit is to just give you a little tidbit of what you will learn at the Ultimate UBC 2021 Business Conference. So we want to get you pumped and want to get you excited about Bankrupt Proof Your Biz Conference that is just 2 weeks away. It is happening Friday, June the 25th, and it's going to be virtual. And then on June the 26th, it's going to be live and virtual. And the wonderful thing about UBC 2021 is that you will be able to attend from the comfort of your own home. If you don't want to come live to Baltimore, Maryland, you can just stay home. And the wonderful thing is we have a great lineup of speakers, and they are wonderful. We have the attorney, legal the legal mammoth, Latanya Moore, and she's going to teach you how to trademark and copyright your brand, how to make sure that your business is legally protected. We have Daryl Treese, our tax professional, and she's going to educate you on how to keep the IRS out of your pocketbook. We have William Murray, and he's going to teach you he's going to give you 10 steps to build a millionaire mindset. We have Leroy McKenzie. He is also going to educate you on how to build a successful business. We have Will Holmes. He's going to educate you on how to make money in your business. We're going to have Quinn Connors. I call her the pitch queen of pitching, because she's going to educate you on how to make your brand marketable and profitable. She's going to teach you how to use your voice to get people to come and buy your products and services. She's going to teach you how to use your voice to market and sell your business. We have Janique New Day, who's going to be there, and she's going to educate you on how to create that entrepreneur mindset. We have Dr. Joan Henry Fields, and she's going to educate you on how to get your finances in order for business. We have Cheryl Thicker, and she's going to educate you on how to relate and how to speak and how to communicate, how to have that conversation and turn that potential client into a buying client. So we have a lot of speakers, and we also have Leroy Allen, who is going to educate you on how to be a leader in your field, where you will be the go-to expert. But today, for day one of our virtual summit, I'm going to give you 3 legal tips for startup businesses. I'm just going to give you 3 simple legal tips, and I'm going to tell you why you need to come to UBC 2021 so that you can continue to learn more on how to legally protect your business. I'm just going to give you a little snippet of what you are going to learn at UBC 2021. So the first legal tip that I want to give you is that you should hire an attorney. That's the first legal tip. The first person you should talk to when you are starting your business, or even if you're in business and you had to revamp your business, legal tip number 1 is you need to hire an attorney / lawyer. So you need to hire an attorney / lawyer. So that's who you need. So tip number 1 is you need to have a lawyer. You need a lawyer. So this is tip number 1. Legal tip number 1, you need to hire an attorney / lawyer. And the reason why I say this is because an attorney will help you get your business in order. An attorney will help you legally protect your business. An attorney will help you make sure that your brand is protected, make sure that your business content is protected. An attorney will make sure that if you decide to do business with someone, you have the right contract. And if someone ever decides to do business with you and they tell you to sign this contract, you need an attorney who will read the paperwork for you to make sure that all of the information, everything in that contract not only satisfies the other party, but also satisfies you. And you should always have an attorney on retainer. And the attorney does not cost a lot of money. If you put an attorney on retainer and they tell you how much they charge per hour, and you give them a certain amount of money, say you pay them for 20 hours of their services, every time you call them, it is deducted from your retainer, but at least you know that you have that attorney right there for you. So that's legal tip number one. You need to hire an attorney. An attorney should be on your business dream team. You should not be writing contracts on your own. You should not be signing contracts before having an attorney read them. So that's tip number one. Then tip number two that I think you should have, legal tip number two is so for legal tip number two, you want to make sure you have all contracts in writing. So tip number two is you want to make sure you have all contracts in writing. So that's tip number two. So tip number two is make sure you have all contracts in writing. Whenever you plan to do business with anyone, make sure you put it in writing. Make sure you have it in writing. And one thing I want to tell you is it's okay to connect with people on LinkedIn. It's okay to connect with people on Facebook to do business with them. But at the same time, once you connect with them, make sure you get their email address. Make sure you have all contracts in writing. Anytime you decide to buy or sell with someone or go in partnership with someone, make sure you have something in writing. And the wonderful thing is if you have their email address, emails that you send back and forth is written proof that you have something in writing. It's correspondence between you and that other person. And whenever you have anything in writing, everybody understands or should read what is in writing. If you don't read what is in writing, then that's your problem. As long as you have stuff in writing, you are protecting yourself. Not only are you protecting yourself, but you're also protecting the other party. And I'm going to have one of the speakers, Leroy McKenzie, come in and chime in what I'm talking about. Leroy, I'm just giving them a little tidbit of some of the legal stuff that they will learn at the Ultimate Business Conference. And the first tip that I gave them is you need to hire an attorney. Why do you think it's important to have an attorney?
It's important because the attorney is going to be that person for you that makes sure that you have all of your I's dotted, T's crossed. They're going to be able to make sure that you are protected and that your brand is protected. And that's one of the things that LaTanya is going to talk about, is making sure that you're always protected. And that's one thing that I say, you want to make sure that in any endeavor that you do, especially when it comes to business, you always have to think about protecting your brand. And that's the importance of having an attorney, so that they can make sure that whether it's an agreement that you need to have looked over, or whether it's even a partnership that you get into, or even an event that you might be a part of, that all of that information or any information that needs to be covered, you can run it by your attorney. Well, what do you think about this? Because you may need that. I'd rather need them on the front end than to need an attorney on the back end, because I heard you mention about attorneys not being expensive. Yeah, they can not be expensive if you do what you're supposed to do on the front end, but they can cost a whole lot because they have a whole lot that they have to do on the other end if they got to get you out of a mess. Trust me. So you're better off having that attorney on your team. That should definitely be someone, as an entrepreneur, that you have on your team for your business, to be able to make sure that you are constantly always protected. You meet it, Danya.
About that. You'd rather have that attorney on the front end with the retainer, because you may get that contract where if you if it's a speaking engagement and you can't do the speaking engagement and you have a clause in there, if you have an attorney, the attorney will tell you, well, why don't you put a clause in there just in case you can't do the speaking, the speaking event, or you can't do the engagement because you want to protect yourself so that if something happens, the
Hmm.
the event coordinator or event planner can't come back after you. Where you put a clause in there that if God forbid something happens, I will agree to give back certain amount of money, or I'll compensate for certain amount. So attorney reads, and they have that legal background that you need when it comes to contracts, when it comes to agreements, even when it comes to simple letters. Because I was a former practicing attorney, and one thing I used to tell my client: make sure you have those CYA letters. Cover your assets, or we had another, cover your behind, the A word for it. Because if you don't have everything in writing, you're in trouble.
Yeah, yeah. And here's the thing too, Danya, for those aspiring entrepreneurs, it's important that you understand the filings that you need to do as far as like your business entity, all of those things that you make sure that that's covered, so your attorney will be able to make sure do those filings. If you aren't if you don't have the understanding to be able to do it yourself, you can actually, you want to have the attorney to be able to do those filings for you, so that you have the accurate business title and entity that you want to, that you go into, and have that clear understanding of what each of them means.
How to create that entrepreneur. Exactly. And it's very important that you have all of that, because you want to make sure you're protected. And also what an attorney will do is they will guide you when it comes to getting certain insurances. They will tell you what insurances you need, and then in lieu they may even recommend a business insurance agent for you. That's another thing with an attorney is, when you're starting your business, you want to have that first meeting with that attorney and make sure they're a business law attorney, because there's a lot of family law attorneys out there and other attorneys out there who say, oh, I can do business law. No, you want someone like Latanya Moore or Lakanya Murray, who only work with people in business. You just don't want to get anybody to to handle your business as an attorney when it comes to the legal part of it. You have to be very strategic and very smart when you're selecting an attorney. And I recommend that you ask for referrals. Do your research. Speak to if you have entrepreneurs in your family, small business owners in your family, speak to them, or go on Facebook and say, hey, I'm looking for an attorney for this certain issue. And trust and believe there are a lot of attorneys, because I've noticed now that a lot of attorneys are starting to turn towards social media. So if you're looking for an attorney, they are there if you need one.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Because trust me, it will save you a lot of headache and heartache if you invest in having that attorney on your team from the beginning. Like I said, so coming to the bankrupt proof your business, the UBC conference. I'm telling you, everything, every aspect of your business is going to be covered at this conference. So you definitely, this is definitely one of those be in the room events that you can't afford to have somebody tell you about it. You have to experience this for yourself,
Exactly,
because
because yep. Yeah, because we have some powerful houses. Because Mr. McKenzie, I had the pleasure of meeting him through Dr. Joan Henry Fields. And I don't just ask people to be a part of this event. We get the top notch people. We get people who are out there and they know what they're doing. Dr. Joan Henry Fields, she knows what she's doing. Will Holmes, he's the president of the or chairman of the Baltimore City Chamber of Commerce. We have industrial bank. We're going to have an industrial banker there. So we're going to have Gregory Dunlap, who's a business insurance agent. So we have everybody there for you if you want to start your business on a strong foundation. That's why we made sure we had all the financial people and all the legal people there, so that you will be ready. And Dal Tree, she's an awesome tax professional. And when you get a tax professional, we'll be talking about that tomorrow. 3 tips. And Leroy, what's the last tip that you want to give to to aspiring entrepreneurs and business owners when it comes to the legal part of being in business?
Well, the third tip I will give them is that in order for you to be able to be the strong business that you are, you always need to have that legal backing, because you're not always going to, you don't know everything. You don't know everything, especially when it comes, laws are always changing. The laws in states and cities are always changing. So you need to have that legal backing, that legal foundation that you can lean on to keep you abreast of the changes that are going on. So I would say that, just to make sure when it comes to the legal perspective of your business, you want to make sure that that the attorney that you hire is someone who has your best interest at heart, someone who understands, like you said, Don, who has that business legal background and is not doing has the other aspects of the legal field. You want this specific expert. It's just like, when it comes to specific doctors. There are specific doctors that specialize in certain things. So you want to look at this in the same mindset, the same way when it comes to an attorney that specializes in business protection, business branding, and all of those things. And you, like you said, you got some heavy hitters when it comes to the whole conference. But Miss Latanya Moore, she don't play.
Yes,
That's a
yes,
powerful woman right there. She is powerful.
and she is known as the legal what was it? Maverick, legal Maverick,
Hmm.
Maverick. And she's smart. She knows her stuff, and she's going to teach you about trademarking, copywriting, how to protect your business content. Because there's a lot of people out there that are doing things, and they're doing great things. But one thing I have realized is that a lot of people lose their brand because they didn't copyright and trademark it. And that's
Right.
what Latanya Moore is going to be talking about. Not only how to legally set up your business, but how to protect all of your creations. Because as a business owner, you're constantly um, creating and building your brand, and you don't want no
Yep.
one to steal your brand. You don't want no one to take your brand. Everything you work. I met some business owners where they did a great job. They did all they could in their brand. Before I stopped practicing, I had one client where she did hair, and this when Facebook first got popular, and she was very popular with the hair. She created this brand, and it was this woman in Canada who copied everything. But the difference was the woman in Canada
Mm.
trademarked and copyrighted everything. So when she did the cease and desist order and sued her, the attorney said, I believe you. I know that this is your brand, but you forgot to copyright and trademark. Because I had to send her to a business law attorney because I didn't know that.
Hmm.
And she said, Danya, I had to rebrand
Hmm.
myself. And lucky she had a great
Yep.
client base who was willing to stay with her and stick with her. But if you don't have that client base who's willing to stick with you and you rebrand yourself, it's like starting all over again from scratch. And I
Yeah.
know one thing
Yeah.
that I will be doing is getting with Latanya Moore to copyright and trademark everything I do, because you don't want to make that mistake. You don't want to make that mistake. Like when people write books, people have to understand the logistics of writing the book. They have to understand the importance of protecting that book material. And what do they call it, Leroy? The poor man's copy, if I'm correct, when you do the
Yeah.
transcript and you send it to
Yeah.
yourself,
Yeah.
so that you make
Right.
sure that it is copyrighted and
Absolutely.
no one can take it.
Right. Right. Absolutely.
Yeah, because
That's a very simplistic way to do it, but you want to make sure that you do cover yourself by registering, and as long you call it your intellectual property, which you protect all of your intellectual property from your business that you it's registering it with the rights stand. You see all of those things. You do what's required. There won't be any problems or issues if something does happen, like you just talked about with one of your clients, with someone stealing stealing their intellectual property all in Canada. We'll do that.
Yep, and Mr. Leroy is going to be there because he publishes books. So if you have questions about publishing books, he will be there. And I'm sorry that he got kicked out, but he's coming back. But he will be there to talk about, publishing books, how to protect your book and everything.
Absolutely,
And I want to,
absolutely.
yeah,
I will definitely be there. Jan, book publishing, magazine publishing. What we do is publishing. So you definitely there at the Bankrupt Proof Your Business Conference. You don't want to miss it. It's just going to be a phenomenal time. Danya has put together just a who's who of speakers that are going to come. You're going to get some great knowledge, some great information, some great resources that you will come away with from this conference. One, not just being better than you were before you were at the conference, but you will also come away with like she said, knowing what your next step is, what you need to do next. You'll have all of those tools that you need to know what you need to do next and equip you to be able to make your next move.
Exactly. And you want to be legally, our premise for UBC is make sure you have a strong legal and financial foundation. So the 3 legal tips that I want to leave you with, the first one I like is Mr. McKenzie's, and I'm not going to hold them. All business owners need a legal backing because attorneys stay up to date with the changing laws in business. You need to know because laws are changing a lot, especially from the pandemic. There are a lot of laws that they have established, and an attorney will keep you updated on those laws. So you want to be updated on those laws. You want to know what you can and cannot do as an attorney. And another thing, tip number 2, is you want to make sure you have all your contracts in writing. You got to have everything in writing. You just don't want to do business like a speaker application or is a contract. When you're presenting, when they send you that application, that's a contract because they're telling you what you're going to do, what you're going to say. You commit, and sometimes you can't commit. That's why an attorney will teach you how to put a clause in your speaker contract that says that if something happens, I will at least give you 3-day notice, and so you can replace me or something like that. So another thing, and then you should have an attorney on your business dream team. That's the number 1 person you should have is an attorney on your business dream team. Put on retainer. Because if they charge, say, $100 an hour, you give them $2,000, that's 20 hours that you have. And then when your retainer is depleting, they will let you know, hey, you need to, give me more money for your retainer. But if you have an attorney on retainer, you can get the benefit of that. We want to spend money on other things, but if you're a business owner, you got to be willing to spend that money on legal professionals, on an attorney, especially a business law attorney like LaTanya Moore, who knows copyright, who knows small business, who knows trademarking, who knows how to make sure. And if you want to learn more from her, you got to get your ticket. We have our 3-day special. That's why I'm doing a 3-day virtual summit, because on Thursday, the $67 tickets are gone. That's the last day that you can get your tickets for $67 and all this value that you are getting. So this is Thursday is the last day at 11:59 p.m. That's why I'm doing this 3-day virtual summit, because it's a 3-day flash sale as well to get your tickets for $67. And Leroy, I want to thank you so much for popping in. And he has been phenomenal helping me promote this. I really, really appreciate it. So if you want to hear from Leroy about how to create an awesome small business from scratch and how to use a book to help market and promote your business, you need to be in the house, because he's a publisher. He publishes books. He helps people publish books. And what is your organization that you have for young men?
Well, it's not an organization. I'm a part of an organization called Black
Okay.
Professional Men that I'm a part of, and yeah,
Yeah.
and what we do is we ensure the future of the African American male, where we're geared towards young Black men in the community. We want to be able to have it's a group of professional Black men that set a standard for how we are to not only conduct ourselves as men, but then also showing that generation that's coming behind us to be able to bring them into manhood and understanding to secure their future. But I want to thank you, Danya. You've just done a phenomenal job of promoting and putting the conference out there. And I hope that the aspiring entrepreneurs and that the entrepreneurs that will be attending this event understand the importance of this and all of the tools, the knowledge and information and resources that she has put together and that she's bringing together for this, for this conference. It's something that, like I said, you're going to be better after this conference than you were before. I promise you. You will not come to this conference and not come away with not understanding what it takes to be an entrepreneur, what it will cost you to be an entrepreneur, because this entrepreneurship journey is not an easy one, and everybody will tell you that. But being a part of this, I thank you for being allowing me to be a part of it and to be able to just take part of it. So I'm having fun. I'm having fun promoting it and talking about it and having people understand and know the importance of entrepreneurship and getting us in our community prepared for entrepreneurship and that journey that you want to go on.
Yeah, and thank you so much, because that's what you want when you do an event. You want to have people aligned who are as excited as you are. Because whenever I'm doing something, I didn't ask Leroy to come on here. He just said, "Hey, how long you going to be on?" I said, "Only a half an hour," and he popped up. So that's the type of people you want to surround yourself with. People who have the same enthusiasm as you have. And I'm passionate about this because before this, I had a law practice, but I didn't have nothing like this. And I had to close my practice up because I didn't have this, and I wasn't legally protected. I wasn't financially protected. And I hired someone and they did some shady things to my clients and money. So I had to close up. And I said, Lord, what can I do to make sure that nobody else goes through the same thing I
Wow.
went through? And he said, you need to start the Ultimate Biz Conference. And that's how me and Alina hooked up, because she kind of went through a similar thing. And we just don't want you to make the mistakes we made. We want you to learn from our mistakes. That's why you need to get your ticket. It's only going to be $67 until Thursday at 11:59 p.m. and then the tickets go up to $147. But all the stuff that you're getting, other conferences, other individuals who are powerhouses will charge you way more than what we're charging. They will charge you
3 days.
way more what we're charging. And you have 3 days left to get that $67 ticket. So it's up to you, if you want to sit on the sidelines, because you're going to get a lot of information. And tomorrow I will share with you what you will be getting, because I have already shared it. But I just wanted you to get a tidbit of what you're going to learn legally. And then tomorrow we're going to discuss what you're going to learn financially. And if Leroy, if you want to come on, you can come on again.
Okay.
But I want to thank you so much for supporting this and promoting it. And get out there and get your ticket. That's all you have to do is go to Bitly, bit.ly/bankrupt biz. And I made it easy. I made it easy. This is all you got to do is type this in, and I will even put it in the comments section so that you can just hit the link. Because some people like, I don't even want to do
Right.
that. I don't. So we got to make it easy for you. Because even my students are like, I don't know where to find that, Ms. Zimmerman. And it's like, I put the stuff, I'm like, it's right there. Can you put it in the chat box, Ms. Zimmerman? I'm like, no. And then sometimes I do it. Because being a school teacher, kids, they show you, it's like, wow. So tickets are on sale for $67 until Thursday. So make sure you get your ticket, because you got to be in the house. And what tell them,
Yeah,
Leroy, they have two ways, two options to attend, right? It's not like you have to be in the house. You can
right.
just be
Right. We want you in the room, whether virtually in the room or whether you're physically in the room. The point is to be in the room. I promise you. That's all we care about. We want you in the room. It doesn't work. So get the tickets, see the link that she in there in the to be able to sign up, register, and be able to be a part of the Ultimate Biz Conference and be able to hear and be able to get information, knowledge, and resources from some phenomenal speakers that are going to just not only blow your mind, but they are some. And these folks, a lot of the folks, and I was like, man, I know that person. I know that person. So it's going to be some good stuff that's coming up at the Ultimate Biz Conference. So you definitely want to be in the room. You definitely want to go and register now. You got 3 days right now until the price go up. So if I were y'all, I'd go and register right now. I'm just saying.
Yeah, and it's right there in the chat in the comment section. All you gotta do is hit that, and you can get your ticket for $67. And another thing that people are going to realize, and this is my last point, is that this is going to be a working conference because these speakers are going to be having information. They're going to be sharing stuff with you where you're going to be taking notes, and you're actually going to be working on your business plan. You're not just going to be sitting listening to speakers take notes. When you leave this conference, you are going to have your business plan. That is part of the Bankrupt Proof Your Biz box. Is we have a business plan workbook in there. And some speakers are adding materials in there as well. So this box is going to be a digital box. Due to Corona, I want to keep everybody safe. So you're going to need your computer, or you're going to have to print it out, because we're going to make sure you have everything at least 2 days before the event. After you sign up, in this box, you're going to have a business plan, the Bankrupt Proof Your Biz business plan. You're going to have a brochure where you're going to have all of the speakers' contact information. We're creating a brochure where it will have their picture and it will have their information, whereas it's going to be a big card and it's going to be digital where you can save it on your USB drive that you have for your business stuff. We're not going to have them pass out business cards. We're going to create a brochure so that you will have that brochure and say, oh yeah, I need Mr. McKenzie's information. Oh yeah, let me get the UBC 2021 brochure. And we're going to have all that information in that brochure. We're going to have that presentation, and we're going to have an area where you can take notes while they're presenting. And they're going to have you do classwork right there and have you do homework. This is not one of those conferences where you're just going to sit back and take notes and don't do anything. You're going to have a call to action for Friday and Saturday. And that call to action is going to make sure your call to action is you're going to put the foundation bricks down to start the building of your business. So when you leave there, you will have the beginning blocks that you need for your business, and you can go from there. And that's this type of conference, because me and Alina said we're no longer just going to have people speak. We're going to have a call to action right then and there where you'll have everything you need. So when you leave this conference, you will be ready. You'll have step 1 ready for business. So make sure you go to bit.ly/bankrupt proof your biz. You only have 3 days. Well, actually only 2 days to get your tickets. So make sure you get your tickets. And Leroy, thank you so much for coming in and help to promote this. I greatly appreciate you. And also, these speakers are going to have other events on their own, and I'm going to allow them to let you know what they have coming up. They're going to be having their books. They're going to have their products there for you, because that's what we do. When we have speakers come and they come to speak, we allow them to sell from the stage because it's enough room for everybody. So not only are these speakers, so if you want to write that book, you don't have to contact Leroy. He'll have his contracts ready for you, ready to sign right now. Consultation. He's going to have some books there that you can buy. They're going to have their products and services there. So that's why I said when you leave this conference, you are going to have everything you need where your business is set up and you are ready to get that first paying customer. So make sure you get your tickets. And Leroy, thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate you. Thank you for showing up, because he didn't have to show up because I didn't ask him to come on. He just said, Donnie, are you going to do it? And I said, I'm only going to be a half an hour. So I want to thank you, Leroy, and make sure you go to Bentley Bankrupt Proof Biz and get your tickets. You have until Thursday at 11:59 p.m. to get those tickets for $67. And I will be back on tomorrow talking about the financial part of why you need to attend UBC 2021. So everybody have a good night. Leroy, thank you so much. I
Thanks,
appreciate
Danya.
you. All right.
Absolutely.
Everybody have a good one. Take care. Bye-bye.
Have a good evening.
You too.